Okay. Hi guys, welcome to the live. I apologize for being late. We are doing Jean Grey, and I thought I had packed some X-Men comics, but looks like I didn't. So you're gonna have to just deal with me giving you guys story time, X-Men wise, while we're by the fire together and just off the top of my head. So thank you guys for joining me for this evening. I am Jean Grey, original classic X-Men. I hope you're well. Let me put this down a little bit. Kind of hear the fire a little bit in the background. Let me see if I can bring this a little closer. Give me 1 second. So fun story before I got into this call. This is live. Oh my gosh, my past selves are coming at me full force, I guess. So hold on, let me just put this up here. Okay, so welcome you guys. I got my fireplace beside me. So I'm in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Winterpeg. This is why I've been so all over the place when it comes to time. So it was my granny's official birthday today. So she is officially 100 years old, meaning that she was born in 1925. And so today was all about her friends at Columbus Courts here in Winnipeg put like balloons outside her door. We had like 5 cakes. There was like a German baker there who made like proper Black Forest cake, right? With like proper ingredients. I love cake. So I had a lot of cake, went to the gym, and I was just trying to get myself sorted. And I was like, oh my goodness, I only brought a certain amount of cosplays with me to Winnipeg. So, hi Wonka, how are you? I hope you're well. Welcome to I guess it's unstable connection. I tried to put myself right next to the router. My dad's upload connection is quite bad, so I apologize if you're gonna get some unstable connection. So I don't have a comic book read for you guys tonight. However, I was working on, Christina Aguilera's song, I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. Gotta rub me the right way, honey. I was working on the dance from the music video because Jean, right? Genie in a bottle. It's a fun little entendre, but it got really hard. I was following, there's no tutorial. I was just basically following this guy named Bruno on YouTube, and he was really good. He basically got one of her, because in the music videos, right? Whenever there's dance routines in the music videos, I have been in music videos before. They don't take, you work so hard. Oh, and Zero, thank you for the roses. So times 12, back to you. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. Oh, Luna Mama. Hey, Gwen Stacy. Hey, baby girl. Welcome to the live. I wasn't going to make it tonight, but I felt a really big calling from the cosmos that I would go live. So I would love to play Marvel Rivals with you, Samantha. So I have to upgrade my dad's internet. So I'm in okay, so I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret, okay? A little secret. I am going to be spending, well, I'm going to be splitting my time between Toronto and Winnipeg to film my movie, but I'm also going to be putting together fun little, like fanfic stuff. I love dance, right? I love musical theater. I have this big dream of mine to like put together different scenarios, but like musical theater wise. Of course, copyright is a big deal, right? Marvel, DC, all these kinds of things. But I think there's a way for us to do it in fun with, I'm not trying to make money off it necessarily, unless, oh, thank you. It's the original Jean Grey, right? So I'm hanging out in the basement with you guys, Winnipeg styles. We used to party till like 6 in the morning in the basement here in Winnipeg. We didn't have cool clubs like we did in Toronto. Of course, I had my whole club kid era in Toronto, as well as I was a go-go dancer for a long time. Like I think 2-3 years. How long is long for a go-go dancer? I'm still a go-go dancer. Oh, Lost Iron Art. Zero, you guys are really sweet. Thank you. That's very not to go all into like child healing and stuff, but my mom was I was actually, it's funny. Someone when last time I was on this fireplace, one of you guys was like, "Oh my gosh, the ADHD is killing me." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." That's what happens when you don't have like cue cards or a teleprompter, or like I'm just doing like steady stream of consciousness. I'm not planning any of this stuff. However, I do have like Cole's notes, show notes, I guess, to kind of keep me focused on the messages I want to leave you guys. Let's see here. Start of one subject and end up on 35, but never finish any one. Yeah, lost lion art. I know. So I was a project manager for very many years, and so it's taken me a long time to kind of get my own creative ish in order. Like I'm sure you guys can, hitting your own deadlines is a whole other thing than hitting like, for a job, like, or like a raise and stuff. It's somehow that seems easier in a weird way, but doing it for your own dreams and goals somehow seems harder. I don't know why that is. So let's go back to Jean Grey. Oh, Diane, I will be doing stuff, probably battles future wise, because I know we're in live, all that kind of stuff. I don't have a comic book for you guys today. I only have Supergirl comic books, and I have Crisis on Infinite Earth. So I have to go. Winnipeg has a bunch of comic book stores. I'm going to visit them to pick up some comic books so that I can have some for the reads next week. I'm in Winnipeg till about the 28th. And so then I'm back in Toronto, and I'm doing a go-go dance workshop in Toronto. If you guys are available online and in person, I'm reteaching. I'm going back to a song called Ocean Drive by Duke Diamond, but I did the remix when I initially taught it. So I'm going back to the choreography and finessing it a little bit, and then I'm turning it into a workshop. So the art of go-go dance is my other channel, which features like, because what is go-go dancing? What is freestyle versus choreography, right? It's like when you like freestyle rap versus you have like an actual poem that you're reciting. Both have value, right? But there's a beautiful balance between the two as to what comes, like in live streams, right? Sometimes stuff comes up in this live where I'm like, whoa, where did the heck did that come from? But it's probably something that needed to look, something that we needed to look at. Oh, you guys, Dark Art, you guys are very sweet. Oh my goodness. I love, it's funny you mentioned that. I love absolute Wonder Woman. I love her badassness. I love that warrior woman archetype. But you know what? All warrior women are soft and mushy on the inside. So before I was getting on this live, I was actually practicing Christina Aguilera's choreography to the music video Genie in a Bottle. I actually know some of it. I don't know if I'll show some of you guys tonight because I'm actually I'm going to be inheriting this house. So I'm converting the basement into a studio. I have a really big dream to have a coast to coast radio station that goes back to like old school talk radio where you can like call in and we can get back that same organic way it felt when we were like hearing each other on the airwaves and initially connecting. I feel like it's so crazy how like we have all this technology, all these tools that we didn't have before, but yet we feel more disconnected than ever. It's kind of crazy, right? But yes, let's see here. And thank you, Thugs Bunny Instrumental. Thank you for those roses. Dark Rider, once again, thank you for that. Stephen Montre Tessien. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the fest pop. Female Wolverine. I'm supposed to be Jean Grey, the classic. I don't have my Psy shield on. I usually do my medium when it comes to cosplay is makeup. I love playing with makeup. I love there's so much you could. Neptune, hey baby, how are you? Thank you for the lights. That was so fun. I'm gonna have more music for you guys coming up because I found my dad's old records, and we have a record player which was my grandpa's, and so I have like Bing Crosby and Johnny Cash and Nat King Cole. I've got a few records that I think I will just sort out and I'll try to play for you guys. Because I love music. I love radio. And so this is the topic of I wanted to talk to you guys about, because Jean Grey, I'm going to give you guys some background as to why I love Jean Grey, and also why I think she matters existing in this world. So so if you believe me that I'm Jean, then you're the X-Men. It's time for us to activate. Hey, Voice of One. Hey, Cable. How's it going? Keaton Bryan. Hey, hey. Okay. All right. To me, my X-Men thanks, Gwen Stacy. I do my best. It's hard being a cosmic entity as well, you know? It's tough. So, let's bring it back. Who is Jean Grey? Her middle name is Elaine. I don't know what that means, but I know that. She's also a Scorpio. I think that's what we determined together, my friends. Luna, to me, my X-Men. Who's Luna's mama? Is Luna's mom? Luna's mama. Who's Luna's dad? Is it Scott? I know, oh, Scorpions. Yes, yes. So, anyone who's a water sign, if you are a Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces, you're going to have, this is my opinion, you're going to have very, very strong intuition. Wolverine's bestie. Yeah. I do think that sometimes I look like X-23. I have the claws too. I love Wolverine so much. So I will, but I do think that Jean and Scott do belong together. That is I have a deep love for like that first love, that first true love. That's a pure love from your like teenage self, right? So, okay, so where do I want to begin this? Not as strong as us. Oh, sorry, I don't want to go too late tonight. I have to get a certain message out to you guys. But I'm going to be back as Jean probably on Friday. Wait, I'm doing yoga on Friday with my bestie. Oh my gosh, let me think. I'll be back as Jean soon, but you can join then. Will you be in cosplay? So anyways, let's go back to what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm gonna like sit cross-legged, like into it, like get into my divination state. So, Jean Grey, I am an Omega level mutant. Now, Jean Grey, myself, I'm part of the original 5 X-Men that Charles Xavier accepted to his school of gifted youngsters. My talk with you guys tonight is about the tragedy of gifted children. So what does it mean to be gifted, right? So growing up in school, like for you guys, did you like school? Were you good at school? Were you like a straight A student? Were you like someone who was like more of an arts kid? What was school like for you growing up? I'd like to know. School for me growing up was very similar to Jean Grey. Now, Jean Grey, her father was a professor, and actually was Charles Xavier's professor. Now, I relate to this. Gwen said, I'm not a fan of school, but I was smart, enjoyed it. It was interesting. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Arts. So, Maury, did you take more arts classes? So, I grew up in Winnipeg, right? And in Winnipeg, it's not like they have the funding here to have cool things like arts college, right? Or it just didn't exist, right? So my hubby actually went to a gifted program in Ontario. So I think, they did those like standardized tests and like, oh, you're really smart. We're going to put you in this particular kind of program. But he was telling me how it caused a lot of problems because they took all the gifted kids and they sent them to another school like every Thursday, and they got bullied basically. And I relate to this, right? Because I went to a little school here called St. Emile School, and from when I was going to school, from grades 1 to grade 8, they had an award called the highest academic achievement. I think hold on, I'm gonna get my trophy. One sec. I have proof. proof of my intelligence. Because what does this all mean in the end, right? Let's see. Is it this? Oh, yeah, it says. Oh, I got most improved athlete, too. Whatever the fuck that even means. Okay. So, because I'm in my old, like my dad, bless him, never throws out anything. Me and my sister will come for Christmas like the year previous and buy specific things, and he'll like leave it in the fridge. My auntie was like, "Is this stick of butter 1 year old?" Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, my sister was baking chocolate chip cookies last year and she didn't use everything." Oh, Jay Jones, thank you for that. Appreciate all of that. Grandpa was a teacher. Yes, exactly true. Natural gas. Yeah, this is not a real fireplace. It's like an illusion, but it's warm. So I have another, the basement I'm converting into a studio. I'm gonna have a gym in one place. I'm gonna have a recording area. I'm gonna have an area more for audio, for video, like a green screen room and stuff like that. So, but of course I need to, we need to build things, we need to buy lumber, all that kind of stuff. But that is a springtime problem. I spent a lot of time in the theater. Very cool last night. I love the theater. I took drama in high school, art and journalism programs, 6 years of math, and 4 years. So that's a cool mix. You took math, but you also spent time in theater. So I struggled a lot with math growing up. I took triple sciences when I was in high school, and triple sciences and calculus. But I struggled with statistics for some reason. Oh yes, I think you did tell me, Gwen Stacy, and then I think we were laughing about the fact that Scott has a lot of babies for some reason. And I'm gonna get to my thoughts about Scott having babies with Madeline Pryor. I actually feel bad for Madeline Pryor. I'll get to that in just a second. And who knows, maybe I'm Madeline Pryor. Who would know? Madeline Pryor didn't even know that she was Madeline Pryor, right? I love fishing. That's cool. Do you go specifically anywhere, Michael? Fishing is like a thing here too, but I feel like it's probably like a meditative thing. I also think that fishing, just like golfing, is one of those excuses for guys to get away with each other and just like drink and bond. And that's actually an important thing for people to do. So I'm all for it. I used to call it penis time. It's important. Just like girls need to go together and like get their nails done, have like, girl time. It's important for that to be a thing, but it shouldn't be something that's like me and my hubby talk about this. It doesn't need to be this thing like only women. It should be like women, and then we get to see the guys. Like I'm getting all dolled up, and then I get to see you later, right? After I feel like fresh and stuff. Musky fish, very cool. Okay, and thank you for the follow. Let's see. You loved School Neptune, had scholarships for art. Very cool. What kind of art did you? I'm so. My family is like a family of academics. Here's my trophy. I like ran to go get it and I didn't even so you can see. Oh my gosh. I got it in grade 8, but I got this. I'm gonna not mirror it. Will it work? Yeah, I don't know if you can read it. Let's see. It's it says St. Emile, highest academic achievement, 98-99, St. Emile School, grade 8, Rachel Walton, which is my maiden name. I got married and I changed my name, but not officially, which is very confusing, but that's okay. Lots of natural gas to Korea and the U.S. Let's see here. So thank you. From where are you from? I'm from the prairies. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, but I live in Toronto. But I've been coming back to myself. I've had a lot of childhood trauma that I've been healing over the last couple years very intensely. The cosplay, doing lives with you guys have been a big part of healing myself. So thank you guys for all of that, coming back to me. Anytime you guys tell me I'm beautiful, that you tell me that you love me, I truly, truly do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, because it's taken me a long time to really believe that people love me and that people think I'm beautiful, right? And for me to actually love myself and look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I love myself today. Not like yesterday. What song is that? Neptune. Yeah, exactly, right? And you gotta be your own biggest hype person. You got to, because if not you, then like, why would you expect so? I love doing it for other people. I love being other people's hype people. You know, when people go up on stage, I will be your hype girl. I will scream for you and yell for you. I am that person. Oh, Anthony, hey, hey, hey. Let's see. I took math 140. That was so tough. Good for you, Spider Carnage. You math people. So I took calculus. I took all of that kind of stuff. But my graduate degree was in I did a double honors degree in psychology and English literature. And going through all my papers now, because I'd left and I didn't even stay for convocation or graduation because my father was dying, my grandfather, I'm sorry, was dying of Alzheimer's. And at the same time, my mother was cheating on my dad. So that was pretty bad. And this was after a whole lifetime of abuse from my mother, basically telling me that I was ugly, I was fat, I was stupid, I was the whole, I am very grateful for my best friends' mothers who have shown me care and support, but like for a long time I resented other people who had good mothers because all I wanted was one for my own, right? And I tried to make my mom that, and at the end of the day, I've come to a place where I've realized that my mom has a lot of mental issues. But that's the thing, right? We don't realize how much our own personal mental issues bleed into other people, right? And we'll be like, oh, self-care, working on ourselves. I think I follow you, Asmongold on YouTube, and he was doing a video about this girl who was basically saying like, I'm gonna shut this off actually. The heat, at least. Does that change things? Let me see. Ta-da. Let me shut that off for just a second, just so we don't have the extra noise for just a sec. Let me see. Lake Vermilion, weird. That's really sweet. You know what? It's funny you say that. I had a dream very recently, and it was about being a flower. And I miss when I had a beautiful balcony that faced the right way in Toronto, that I could grow a lot of flowers like hibiscus, and we grew weed plants and all that kind of stuff. But I love flowers. But when you have like a bush of flowers, the first flower that blooms usually gets kind of beat up. But it's the first one that comes out, right? And it's always tough going first, right? So I had a dream. It was I don't know how to explain it, but just this message of like, Rachel, once you express the superpower, like once you express it, then everyone else will follow. But it's really tough being first to do it, right? So, okay, so let's see here. You're very sweet. This will be my house. Yeah. But like, look at how old school everything is. My dad doesn't throw it at me. Look at how this old school TV, my old school stereo, all that kind of stuff. We're very nostalgic. And also too, my dad was a prof in computer science, but yet does not have a smartphone. Right. And my dad knew people like, was like there in the beginning when computer science was just beginning. So my conversations with my dad when I was a child were not normal conversations. He loves me. I love my dad, but his way of showing love, I remember, I've realized it's I don't know how to explain it. But like, for example, my dad would make us video games, me and my sister, to teach us math. And so just the attentiveness to things and knowing where to meet people or where to meet your children, and also not talking down to them. Children are so smart. Think about yourself when you were 8 years old. You always knew that you knew more than all the adults were, right? And then somehow we grew up and we forgot how smart we were, So Art Institute of Chicago and Museum of Contemporary Arts. Very cool, Neptune. And your name is Neptune. That's very fitting. I have in my astrology, as I told you guys, I don't really do much specific astrology content anymore, but I'll share with you guys this because I think it tells a lot about me and I feel comfortable sharing this with you guys. But my sun is trine Neptune. So the outer planets like Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, they're generational planets. So for example, Pluto was in Scorpio between 1984 and 1993. So you think of all the souls that were incarnated within that time. It's kind of like a flock of birds where there's like you all have kind of a similar trajectory to your soul mission. Like you have your own, of course, individuality and your own things that you're working on in this earth school, but you have a shared mission when it comes to certain things. Now, if your Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, if these outer planets are activated by things like trines or squares or oppositions with your more personal planets, like your sun, your moon, Mercury, Venus, these personal planets, let's say your Venus is opposite Uranus or something like that. These things activate the outer planets where you might be, let's say, a Taurus like I am, right? Which is Earth, and Earth signs are very practical and very in this world, right? Oh, Jure, hey, thank you, right? Shout out to all you Tauruses and to all the Earth signs out there, my Cappies and my Virgos, yo, yo. But I've realized that my dream world is very activated by the fact that Neptune is trine it. So that's something. Let's see here. Oh, Hulk, thank you for following. Oh, you're very sweet. Have a great night, Kaiser. Oh, you want. Thank you, Gwen Stacy, for bringing me back to what I wanted to talk to you guys about before I go to bed. I'd give you my heart. You guys are very sweet. Oh my gosh. I know this is a black and white. My dad still uses it too, right? And we have like an old school DVD player and the other TV too. Because I told you guys, I love technology, but I don't love where technology is taking us, right? And our relationship with technology, I think we need to be a little bit more aware of. Which X-Men character do you think doesn't get as much love? You know what? I actually think Kitty Pryde. I did a whole expose on Kitty Pryde, and I think that she's so much more powerful than people know. But also Spanglish, I think Jean Grey herself also gets misunderstood. Funny fact, my grandparents, who my dad had their 60s TV, oh, it's funny. Maybe we have the same TV, Gwen. Okay, oh my gosh, you guys I'm trying to keep up with this. Speaking of space, here's a relevant, I love you guys. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, so let's change the subject, you guys. So, Jean Grey, her origin story. Are you guys familiar? Remember, there's... You guys, I'm having full body tingles right now. This is crazy. You guys are so sweet. Oh my gosh. So, to me, my X-Men, you guys, anyone in the chat, please do let me know what X-Men you most resonate with. I would be very interested in that. It tells me a lot about your own personal powers. So, think about it. If you were like a pyro, I love fire too, by the way. So if you were like a pyro person and you're trying to set things on fire, and you're not, you know what I mean? So let's say Bobby, Iceman, was trying to do fire stuff, right? Do you know what I mean? So, or a telepath who's not telekinesis, right, is trying to do telepathic stuff. So it's about knowing focus, right? Let's see here. Luna had the same power as Jean, and she had Phoenix too. Black from Cassidy. Ooh, Wolverine. Oh, cool. I love Wolverine too. He's Canadian, and there's something I think about those who are forged in the Great White North, something like that. And Zachary, you have a great name. It's the Z. the lightning bolt, the conduit between heaven and earth, that kind of thing. Emma Frost. I do love Emma Frost. One of my good girlfriends loves Emma Frost, and we did a show once with Emma and Jean. And you know what? Let's get into the origin story because it's going to go into the comic book. I have read you guys as Jean Grey. I will link to that in this replay. It's Jean Grey as a teenager dealing with her older self's ghost. And then she works with Emma Frost and stuff. It's kind of cool. Okay. David, yes, I do. I do have some. I do. I have, Black Canary is kind of latexy. So is Black Cat. I would love to do a Black Widow. I do like Black Widow a lot. I relate to that kind of training. Okay. So Jean Grey, she's one of the original 5 X-Men, right? And so who are the original 5 X-Men? Pop quiz, guys. Da-na-na-na. Cyclops, Beast. You remember the X-Men title screens? Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, and then they have their title thing and duh. And then I was like, how come Jean Grey doesn't have, a code name? Well, she becomes Phoenix, though, right? So Cyclops, Beast. Oh, I know, real tech geek. Remember though, I'm in Central Time Zone right now. I'm no longer in Eastern. I'm in Winnipeg, so that's been throwing me for a loop. So I'm only gonna go on for another. It's 2:23 here in Winnipeg. So I'm gonna go until about 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is a magic time. So my numerology number is 33, which adds up to 6. So some numerologists say that 33 is a master number, some aren't. But I'm back and forth. I'm originally from Winnipeg. I moved to Toronto in about 2007. I built a whole life there. But I've been trying to come back to myself here in Winnipeg in the sense of reintegrating my younger self into who I am now, right? So the writer part of me, the angsty artist, the drawer, the one who loved to make things and change the world, somehow got lost in the big city and her goals became corporate ones. So I've disengaged and I've come back. Blaze, I think Avengers Doomsday looks good so far from what the leaked trailers kind of show. Oh, I haven't even complete. I went on a tangent again, you guys. Oh, too many good questions. Okay. So we have Cyclops, Beast, Bobby, who's Iceman. I love Bobby. I love Bobby a lot. He's got that nice comic relief. I love him. He becomes this old wizard guy in some timelines, though. We have to revisit that. So Beast, Cyclops, Iceman, Angel, whatever, I forget his first name, Montgomery the Third, and of course Jean Grey. So Jean Grey is the sole female in a group of guys. I'm used to this. I tended to be the girl I was very tomboyish growing up, yet being girlish at the same time because I was into video games. I loved roughhousing and stuff, and it's really because my Venus and my Mercury I have a lot of Aries qualities, even though I'm a Taurus. So that's just something for you guys to know about yourself too. Even though when Stacey, I know you're a Capricorn and other people are Scorpios, but if you have other placements, it's going to interact with whatever that sun sign is and give you a bit more nuance to what your character is in this comic book. So I know I've done a lot of like nerdy research when it comes to Jean, just because that's just who I am. And yes, as I told you guys, Jean Grey's dad was Professor X's professor. Now, Jean Grey initially started out with Professor X. Professor X knew her capabilities, but he basically did some sort of telepathy. You know, I really love how Stephen King's novels talk about the shine, like this way of talking about that quality in people where you can see the other worlds, you're intuitive, you get senses about things. This stuff has not been, like, we all know it's real, but it's not something that, like, we can't talk about it. Like, we can't actually do real science on it because we can't have that. We can't have miracles be real, because then how would we make money off of cancer treatments and things, right? How would we make money off all the copious wars that we have going on, right? If we had the ability to change things, right? Zachary, you're 87. Hey, you're the same birth year as my hubby. You're part of this Pluto and Scorpio gang. Welcome. I actually moved to just 5 minutes. Are you kidding me? Real techie? Let's meet up in person. You know, I want some real life gatherings. I want to have some house parties up in this basement. And I'll host you guys if you need to crash and that kind of thing. I want to start my own school of gifted, well, not just youngsters. I just want to have a school of gifted. And I think everyone's gifted, because even I have never believed that anyone's stupid. I just think that people learn differently, right? And so the whole time I was winning this award for my highest academic achievement, right, every year, I felt like a fraud, because I felt like I had to work so hard to do that, right? I felt like, you know, if I was truly intelligent, wouldn't that knowledge just come easily? Wouldn't I just know these things? But that's not the way it works, right? You don't know what you don't know, right? So it's the process of being bad at something, the process of, oh, I don't get it, right? And so I'm going to ask a question, even though I might look stupid, so that I can get some clarification instead of pretending like I know what's going on. Haven't we all done that? I have. You know, where like someone's explaining something to you and you're like, I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. And then you're just like, yeah, I get it. And then you're like trying to do it. You're like, maybe I should have asked some questions. Neptune, hey, manifested, you know what I'm talking about. I feel like when I was a project manager, I used to work with a lot of artists, right? And I used to work with a lot of brilliant artists who were working, of course, at this agency to just pay the bills, because like you couldn't just make beautiful art and sell them, right? Like we do not have a way for artists to thrive on just their art. People feel like they have to sell their soul. They have to sign up for a music contract. You have to like sign up with an agency. You can't just do it on your own, right? What happened to being Renaissance? What happened to just being able to have multiple mediums and us just sharing our inner world with each other? Jean Story, we are all special. Yes, 100%. We do all have telepathic abilities, but your telepathic ability is unique amongst all others, right? It's yours. So your view, your perspective, your unique way of seeing the world and how you're going to express that gift is up to you. And that is a lot of responsibility, isn't it? So Jean Grey, the original 5 X-Men, the writers of Jean Grey, the creators of her, the Dark Phoenix saga came out around the same time that Supergirl died. So Jean Grey and Supergirl actually died around the same time in the 80s. Kind of funny, right? Like, what does that mean? And they did it in such a way that there were stakes, right? So when Jean dies, let me first explain how this happens. And this is my version of it, so I'm sorry if it's spotty, if I'm missing things, and if you guys want to add more to it, please do. So I didn't actually watch the Dark Phoenix saga with Sansa Stark, who played Jean. I'm sure she did wonderful. I haven't seen that one yet. My favorite Jean so far live action is Famke from the original X-Men movie. I love the original X-Men movie with James Marsden as Cyclops, and like Aurora with her accent and all that. So with so where was I going with this? Okay, so Jean and the X-Men, they're on a mission in space. And what ends up happening is that there's this huge, I think like a radiation pulse, something like that. And Jean calls out to the universe for help. She reaches out into the cosmos. Now remember, Jean's an Omega level mutant, and she's a telepath. So when you're reaching out, right, It's just like when you guys reach out in like prayer or hope, or you're like writing a letter to yourself, or like a invocation to the universe. Like, just be aware of the words you speak. Sometimes, like, we say things and we accidentally create things perhaps that we didn't really, like at the time we thought we wanted, but maybe, it was just an emotional time, right? So that's why Dark Phoenix becomes Dark Phoenix. Now, Jean calls out into the cosmos and pleads for help. And the Phoenix answers. The Phoenix is a cosmic entity and is beyond time and space, beyond 3D reality. For the Phoenix to interface with 3D reality, she requires a host. So Jean Grey has been known, like they are intrinsically linked, Phoenix and Jean Grey. So she calls out and the Phoenix answers. Now, what happens here is the reason why Scott cheats on Jean initially. So Jean Grey has been so exposed to radiation that her actual body has become, radiation, right? Chernobyl, your human body don't really like it. So her body needs to be healed. So what the Phoenix does is she cocoons Jean, the real Jean, in a cocoon and places her at the bottom of, I forget what lake, but she places her somewhere to like heal. Now, the Phoenix clones Jean, and she takes on Jean's memories and not consciousness, because it's a separate consciousness, but she takes on Jean's personality and memories and all that kind of stuff, right? So the Phoenix essentially is, because as I told you, the Phoenix is a cosmic entity. It's like how when, like Moon Knight, right, is the avatar of the moon, where you have cosmic entities that, built to diff, yeah. So Phoenix becomes Phoenix, right? And is Phoenix, but is also Jean. Now, everyone assumes that who they're dealing with is Jean Grey. Alongside this, Mr. Sinister, for whatever reason, clones Jean Grey. And this becomes Madeline Pryor, right? But this clone of Jean Grey lies like comatose. Like he clones her, but like there's no consciousness in her. I forget what exactly happens, but Madeline Pryor only becomes conscious when Jean Grey finally becomes resurrected and she refuses to integrate her shadow side. So her shadow aspects all go into Madeline Pryor. So in some regard, Madeline Pryor is all the parts of Jean Grey that she refuses to accept about herself. And that I totally fucking resonate with. All those like shadowy parts of ourselves that you're like, that's not me. I would never do that. But you know what? We have done that. I have done that. And to look at yourself and be like, you know what? I did it and I'm sorry. I healed a lot of stuff with like my cousin actually quite recently, because when I told you guys when I first moved to Toronto, I was under duress and I was like not in the right mind state because of my mom and all these other things. But when you're in a hurt state, you hurt other people. And so I hurt her, and she's very recently lost both her parents. And I still have both of my parents alive. And I have a very, different relationship with my parents than she did with hers. But at the same time, we're cousins. We share the same grandparents, right? It was my granny's 100th. And so when she was here, like, we healed it. I just apologized. I told her, like, I'm really sorry for the person that I was when I first moved to Toronto and how I acted. And I hope we can make things right. And she just gave me a hug and, you heal it. You heal it. Like, and my best friend, Laura, here, I'm going to be doing yoga with her on Friday. And we've been talking a lot I just told her, like, I wish that I was just a better friend to you. And she was just like, and she brought up something. She used to have this mole on her cheek. And she's like, Rachel, you were my first best friend. You never cared about this mole on my cheek and made me feel grotesque. And I was like, Laura, I never even noticed, because that stuff never, ever mattered to me. And it still doesn't. When I see people, I don't know how to tell you guys this, but if I ever meet you, I really, really see you. I see like all of like the higher levels of you. I see all the lifetimes we were friends, or maybe the lifetimes we weren't, but I really, really see people. So that has been really hard for me to recognize as a gift in myself and to learn how to harness it, because it can get very like my Venus and my Mercury sit in the 12th house, and they're both in Aries, but they're in a place where I've been taken advantage of multiple times. I've been like very much like, I never can believe that people would lie to me or like misrepresent themselves, because I would never do that. And so I get kind of effed over because of it, right? So I've learned to protect myself, but that doesn't mean blocking yourself off from love, right? Because that only cheats yourself. You guys, don't do that. There's a difference between protecting yourself and then like cutting yourself, being like, I'm never going to love again. Don't do that. Don't do that. You deserve love. You deserve everything, right? Exactly, Anthony. Just this discernment. And sometimes, we end up in a place where, like, let's say you end up with a narcissistic partner, or you are in a relationship for far too long where, I love that line. Like, Sex in the City was a lot of things, but it got me through one of my hardest breakups. But Samantha in that show, I remember when she breaks up with Smith, which I wish they stayed together. But anyways, she just says like, I love you, but I love me more. And this has been so hard for us to all grasp as a society, right? The difference between narcissism and self-care, right? And learning how to truly love yourself, right? And not try to just present this mask where we're like hiding and band-aid and covering all this other stuff that we don't want other people to know about, right? So Luna does a birthmark on her right hand on the moon. Yeah, I love moon birth. Yeah, that's what I said. It's a beauty mark. It's like, it's a little like, it's destiny. That kind of thing. You have the mark of the gods, that kind of thing. Why don't we look at things in that kind of way? Why do we always have to look at it in like this other negative kind of way? So we can choose that. Now, thank you, Tino. What would happen? But if each individual person could just take a look at themselves and realize like where we are just getting in our own way, we would have utopia. That would be the end of the bad guys. It's over, right? Only we can fuck with ourselves. So the bad guys in this world, the enemy, and there is evil in this world. That has been one of the hardest things for me to accept as a thing. That people that I thought that I loved were actually like agents for the bad guys, right? And it's like when I watch movies, right? Sometimes I do feel bad for the bad guy when bad stuff happens, because at the end of the day, like, did that villain really want to become a villain? Sometimes really terrible-ish happens and scenarios happen and you can fall into that, right? So I think when it comes to Jean, also too, Jean has a daughter named Rachel. My name's Rachel. But Rachel Summers, right? She exists in an alternate timeline where she ends up becoming like a hunter of mutants, right? She becomes brainwashed and she starts to hunt fellow mutants for execution. So it's crazy how, we can turn against our own brothers and sisters with the brainwashing. And I have a lot of articles, and like, not to make things dark, but this talk specifically is about being real about it, because I wasn't even going to go live, but I got a real feeling that I just needed to do this, because I wanted to let you guys know this, that I've had my own messages from the universe. And I'm going to tell you, 2026, I don't know what activation looks like in real life, but it's going to be something fucking awesome. So, who's my favorite villain? Ooh, great question. Oh my gosh. Let me think. I'm going to keep it to Marvel, just because Marvel is who I'm playing right now. But I would say like, this, my favorite villain is Dark Phoenix, right? Oftentimes in Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternal, it's always the Phoenix that is the defining factor, right? Because Phoenix is an entity of creation, but also destruction. And so in all of that, right, the Joker, Joker is a cool one. Joker is also like one of those really tough archetypes to hold, right? That agent of chaos and stuff. But it's like for us to also realize that all of us hold all of these characters within us. We just have certain levels at certain times, right? Now, my message to you guys. Oh, hey, Leo. Hi. If you think you have telepathic powers or any of those kinds of things, my biggest suggestion to you is to start talking about it. Because the more you talk about it, the more it becomes real. And we have far too many things in this reality that are quite awful, and they don't deserve to be made real. So I welcome you guys to write, sing, voice notes, turn all the stuff that's sitting here into something real. Because I think, even when we think about chakras, we think telepaths, right? When they fight each other, there's a scene in a comic book, Avengers versus X-Men. I think it's that one. No, Battle of the Atom, where the White Queen, Emma Frost, is going up against like evil version of Jean Grey, and they're telepathically fighting, but everyone around them is like, they're just standing there. And they're like, no. They're fighting up on that upper realm. Constantine and Zatanna do this as well, like in the magic realms, the etheric realms, the dimensions that sit on top of our dimensions that you can't see, but they're there, right? So I've been always someone who's aware of all the other worlds, right? And that's why it's important. And Jean Grey has a really lovely conversation with Kitty Pryde when Kitty Pryde first enters the school, right? About once you learn how to wield your gifts, they won't feel so much like a curse, right? So, things like being OCD, really compulsive, worrying all the time, you can kind of like circumvent those kinds of things into working for you, right? So that's kind of like, you kind of like trick yourself into like making it fun, making learning fun, making homework fun, that kind of thing. So I loved school. I did love school. I almost hated to admit it, but I loved learning. There's something really special about when you don't know something and then you know it. Like when I'm learning a choreography and I'm struggling, right? And then suddenly it clicks. There's nothing better. I don't know how else to describe it. Also, like the feeling of when you and your friends have worked really hard on like a piece or something, and then you finally go on stage and you perform and it goes well, and like the applause. I don't know of anything to describe what that is. But to all those things, right? All of these other like alternate states of being, magic, mysticism, telepathy, clairvoyance, the woo of life. Oh my gosh, my hair is getting all over my face. Hey, Dandy Money Man, you came just in time. I'm gonna tap out about 10 minutes. Luna used her power for the first. So what are Luna's powers? I'm gonna guess they're related to the moon. Go ahead, Stacy and Danny Money Man. Since you're my birthday twin, though, you more than likely have some certain same aspects as me. Right? So in your character of life, that's kind of funny too, right? If we think about cloning, I do notice Marvel loves to do storylines with clones, but it's kind of like the same idea of twins, right? It's like this idea of nature versus nurture, the concept of like, okay, we have the same DNA code, but I like to say like, well, Magneto, well, I mean, some stories say that Magneto is not really Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver's dad, but let's pretend for a moment that he is. How those mutations, how those powers show up, Scarlet Witch is very different than Magneto's powers. Quicksilver, very different. So even though we're related to other people, we may have, like, you will end up with something, but you are still you, right? It's going to be this unique expression of whatever the universe needs for you to do here in this life. So I'm going to put the fireplace back on to finish off. Where's the power? All my stuffies. I'm going to put this down. So I was going to do initially Christina Aguilera's I'm a Genie in a Bottle, but I will do that tomorrow, I promise. I need to finish learning it. I'm not as... Polaris is amazing, Dark Rider. I love Polaris. Great call. I love her. She's a little OP, like overpowered, but I love my overpowered girls, right? So, let's see. I want to make sure I don't have a shadow on this. My mic. I have my spotlight on today. I was hoping also too my CD player would end up working, but it didn't. Oh well. So what I want to leave this with you guys is as it comes to, like, we have solstice coming up, we have the new year 2026 coming up. There's a lot of prophecy in actually comic books about what 2026 is. There's a lot of crazy cosmic alignments, but we can talk about that whatever, but what does that mean for you? What it means is there's like a window of opportunity. If you've ever wanted to learn how to play an instrument, if you ever wanted to finally change careers or finally do what it is that you're going to do, 2026 is like the year. And so as Jean, I want to say to all of you, to me, my X-Men, right? To all my original X-Men out there, it's always tough being first, right? So to be the first one to break new ground, to push through, to cut through the dark forest, to kind of see where the rest of us can follow, make the wayfinders, right? I love Storm. Storm was actually, to me, Dark Rider, Storm's basically a goddess. She's basically an Orisha from Africa. The Orishas are they're the goddesses in Africa, and I'm half South African, so I still do love Storm. I don't know, I read a lot of fanfic that Storm and Gambit have a really nice brother-sister relationship, and it's really interesting, right? In my D&D campaign, I play Mayari Moonchild, who I named after the moon goddess in the Philippines. She's got a brother named Apoloki, and so I've my dungeon master integrated that into the story. And so last week I had to role play as Mayari meeting her older brother, long lost big brother, who was taken over by demons. And I got into it, and my dungeon master had to take me aside. He's like, "Rachel, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I think so." And I'm like, "I don't even have a big brother, but I think I have had one in past lifetimes." Because not all relationships are romantic ones that are intense or very important. Let's value intense, deep friendships too. Friendships that are over lifetimes, right? My husband, who I'm with, I do believe I've been with him many, many lifetimes before. I love deeply, but I also love my friends a lot. And I am that friend who, if you need me and it's 3 a.m. and you're drunk somewhere, I will come and I will pick you up. I will find you. It will be okay. Just call me, right? I won't judge you. I just want you to be okay. So I just think to all of you out there who have been that, keep doing that. We need it. And to all of you out there who are feeling really low or feeling like there's a lot of bad stuff happening in the world, it's always darkest before the dawn, right? Just like how Jean called out into the cosmos for help. There is help. There is divine help. Trust me. I know. I'm tight with Earth Mama. Me and her are close. And you know what? This is just a message from Earth. She loves us so much. Do you know what I mean? We're in a place where you know what a miracle it is just to be alive in this kind of universe right now, and to be you. So yeah. So just be you. That's all that is asked, right? And it's not going to be easy, but we can make it a little bit more fun. Okay? All right, guys, I will catch you all tomorrow. I'm going to try to do my genie in a bottle dance. I was going to do it tonight, but today was a long day. So tomorrow is Workout Wednesday. We're supposed to have a blizzard here in Winnipeg, like 20 centimeters of snow. I don't know, maybe it'll miss us, but regardless, I'm going to be doing an at-home workout here. I'm going to try to set it up. I might be Supergirl, may just be myself. We shall see. But I do have Green Lantern Jessica Cruz coming live on Thursday with Guy Gardner. We're going to talk about some lantern lore and the lanterns that are coming out. I do know the movie Watchmen, and I love Alan Moore. I've read Alan Moore multiple times. I have to get a Silk Scepter cosplay to do that read, though. Silk Scepter actually is a wonderful character to me. What she's dealt with her mom, she's healed it, but like that relationship, mother-daughter stuff, and like all of that messy stuff in that, craziness. And it's crazy that like how good some men writers were at writing these things, right? Which is why I think, when you're an artist, we are but a conduit, you guys. We do not own these things. We make something and you set it out into the world, right? For it to be what it needs to be. You're just bringing it in. We don't own anything here. We're just here to be stewards, guardians, and protectors of each other. All right, guys. With that, I hope you guys are well, and I will catch you all tomorrow. And remember, it takes true courage for you to be exactly you in this cosmic game of life. So please do be exactly you, because the universe is counting on you. But no worries, I have your back. Telepathic help, just call me. I got you. Bye, you guys. Till next time, my magical friends. Have a beautiful night. Neptune, you are the bomb. And let's talk a little bit more about your drawing stuff, because I'm working on a comic book and I need illustrators. All right, guys. Bye.